We're all dealing with higher prices for a lot of the stuff we use every day. And when you add that on top of debt that already exists, it can certainly be tough. More than 60% of Americans say figuring out how to pay for medical care gives them anxiety right now. Matt Latman is the Vice President of Personal Loans at Discovery. He's joining us this morning with some advice for all the families out there. Matt, thanks for joining us. So let's start with medical debt as a whole. How big of an impact can that really have on families?
Well, it's not so much that medical debt is it's kind of this looming thing, but it's really what people experience every day. So if you have another source of debt or another thing that's kind of causing you to pay a monthly bill each month, that just eats into people's budgets, especially in a time where food prices and gas prices and housing prices are rising. It's just another expense that people have to worry about.
So I mentioned the anxiety people feel over this. What else did you guys learn from this survey?
People had so much anxiety that they were actually putting off seeing a doctor. 50% of those surveyed reported that they didn't see a specialist. 40% said that they were sick and they didn't get the treatment that they needed. And over half say that they have medical debt that's going to take over a year to pay off.
Wow, those are staggering numbers. So what are the options out there for people then when it comes to dealing with something like this?
Option that you have is just to talk with your care provider and see what options are available to you, and look at your overall budget and see where you have some space, where you might be able to cut down on some spend. But the reality is that most people have done that. Most people have kind of looked at their budgets and said, hey, maybe I'm going to not eat out as much, or maybe I'm going to, choose a different brand at the grocery store. And we all know that, it's a little bit saying, oh, I'm not going to go get a cup of coffee. It doesn't really impact your wallet that much on a day-to-day basis. So we look at what are the other debts that you have? Where do you owe money, and how can we help you to consolidate that debt? Maybe put it into a personal loan and be able to pay that off over time in a very predictable way. Some people, especially at this time, it might be a little bit anxiety driving to even tap into savings, although maybe that's the best choice for everyone. The point is, everybody's a little bit different, and I would urge people to talk with a loan specialist, talk to a financial service provider, talk to an accountant, and just try to look at get advice on their individual situation.
You mentioned people looking at things that they can kind of cut out of their budget. Do you feel like that personal loans might be something that a lot of people wouldn't even consider or even think about as an option for this?
Yeah, when we talk with customers, a lot of people have traditionally thought of personal loans as failure. And the reality is that millions of Americans get personal loans every year. It's an easy way to know exactly what you're going to pay and exactly how much debt you're going to be able to work through in a certain amount of time. Many companies like Discover don't charge an origination fee, so you know exactly the number that's coming into if you ask for $20,000, you're getting $20,000, and there's no prepayment fees either. So if you have a little bit of extra money and want to pay off early and not pay interest over time, you can do that as well.
All right, I know we're short on time here, so where can we go online to maybe learn a little more about this?
Website discoverpersonalloans.com. We have more information. We have a great resource center with lots of articles with tips on how to day-to-day advice that people can make use of, and some really interesting in-depth content as well. And you can always call one of our loan specialists. The number's on the website as well.
All right, Matt, thank you very much for joining us this morning. Great information. We appreciate you taking some time.
Thank you so much.
All right, so there you go. Maybe something that, like you said, a lot of people didn't even consider before when it comes to tackling medical debt, the idea of a personal loan. And you can go to that website for more information.